PTZOptics presents Back to the Basics live every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. A high-definition broadcast on Facebook, focusing on camera line tutorials with our Chief Screening Officer, Paul Richards, and our social media manager, Tess Protesto. Back to the Basics live. New videos every Wednesday.
All right.
Hello, hello. Welcome to PTZOptics Back to Basics. My name's Tess Protesto.
My name's Mike Lettermoser.
And today we're going to give you a joystick battle.
That's right.
Battle of camera control options for pan tilt zoom cameras. In particular, of course, the PTZOptics ones. How many options are we going to show them today?
We got 3 options that we're going to show. We're going to show a PTZOptics joystick. We're going to show a Huddle Cam joystick, and we got a special guest joystick, the Xbox controller.
Yes, a lot of people, we've seen a few people playing around with an Xbox controller on pan tilt zoom cameras, so we have been messing around with it ourselves, and it's a lot of fun, and there's one key component of it that I think that a lot of our users are going to find really valuable. To start things off, let's get really back to basics and talk about our non-joystick controller. Each of our cameras comes with an included IR remote control. So these allow you to do a lot of the things that the joysticks allow you to do. It's just a little less intense and in-depth. So if I could put this on the ceiling cam.
You got it.
All right, I can show you guys the remote control. And I'm not going to do, we have in-depth tutorials and review videos of our IR remote control, so I'm just going to touch on some of the key factors here, and excuse my nasty band-aid. The camera select options at the top are 4 hotkeys to allow you to control up to 4 cameras with this remote, so you can switch between them. These colored buttons are what allow you to program the cameras so that they are all individually able to be controlled from one remote. The buttons allow you to set presets. If you access the menu here, well, we're not on the right cam, so that's not going to work. The menu button allows you to bring up the on-screen display menu so you can adjust lighting and exposure and color of your cameras. You can also set presets with the remote control by hitting presets, corresponding number, and then yeah. You can also slow zoom and fast zoom. And you can also pan and tilt in every which direction you choose. So that's sort of a basic IR remote control. If you're wondering how, if you're a new customer, how you're going to control your cameras when you get it, you will be given one of these cameras. Thank you, Mike. That always happens to me. Goes to sleep. So let's talk about what the next step from the IR remote control would be. If you're interested in a wire connection based joystick controller, one of our best options and more popular options is the Huddle Cam joystick.
Right.
So let's see if we can get the ceiling cam.
Oh, I can.
Let's just zoom out. Crap. All right, here.
Yeah, I got
you
it.
can
No
fiddle
worries.
with it a little bit. I just want to make sure that we can fit both joysticks in the shot. Or we can just try and pan over to the HD joystick first. This is a little funny. It has to go these. All right.
Is it? No?
Yeah, it's kind of sideways, but we're going to make it work.
All right, here we go.
All right, here's the HD joystick. So this has RS-232 connection, which is shown in the back of the camera here. You're going to connect this to the back of your camera, and we're going to show you an example of that in just a moment. So if we were just controlling one camera, we would be able to set presets by pressing set, whatever number that you want to set the preset to, enter, and that's going to set your presets. You can also call presets by pressing call and then pressing the corresponding number. You have camera control, variable, pan, tilt, and zoom. So depending on how hard or soft you adjust the joystick, that is how hard or soft your pan or zoom is going to be. You can also manually set your iris and you can manually set your focus as well as zoom options. You might notice these 4 hotkeys that allow you to control up to 4 cameras with the joystick. We can go back to the main cam now.
You got it.
If I could just zoom out.
Oh, there you go. You're zooming out.
What the hell? Okay, so now you can see we have set up this joystick with one of our cameras right over here, so you could see us controlling it. If you look at the back of the camera, try and flip it around for them so we can talk about daisy chaining really quick. I'm just telling you guys this stuff to the best of my ability from somebody who's definitely going to give it to you in the most dumbed down terms possible. So hopefully if you are not an expert on this stuff, this is helpful for you, and hopefully you're not, offended by my lack of terminology if I'm messing it up. So let's point to where the RS-232 in is on the back of the camera. Okay, so that's where the HC joystick is connecting to the back of the PTZOptics camera. Now you see the empty cascade port right next to it. That's the out. That's what allows you to connect from camera to camera. The fancy term is daisy chaining. So that's how you're going to be able to access the 4 hotkeys on the HC joystick stick for camera control. This is definitely for somebody who likes the wired aspect, who's not so familiar with IP networking. Me.
And me.
Yeah, and you too. So that's definitely a great option for you if you want a hardwired camera-to-camera setup for joystick control. I have a cascade cord here that I just wanted to show you guys a quick example of. So these wires would connect from camera to camera to allow you to operate multiple cameras with this joystick. So now we're getting to the really fancy stuff. We're going to talk about the PTZOptics IP joystick. And this is the Gen 2, so this is a new version. I believe it's shipping now. Matt, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Couple things we figured out with this through experimenting this morning. This is connected via the network. So this is how it's going to communicate with all of your cameras that are on the network. That's how you're going to be able to control the cameras with this joystick. So it has power, and then it's also connected to the network via Ethernet cable. So any camera that is also in the network connected via Ethernet is going to be accessible by this joystick controller. We've just added the 4 camera hotkeys, one of the highly requested features for the new generation of this product. So you are able to easily transition between up to 4 cameras. The cool thing about these, they have their own IP address, which we're going to show you in a little bit, you know, what that means and how we can enter new cameras into this joystick. Couple things really quick. You can set and call presets just the same way that we explained with the HC joystick. You can also have manual iris control. You can focus and zoom with buttons, or you can focus and zoom with the joystick controller. Now, you know, something I recently figured out about this, it doesn't have variable pan, tilt, and zoom. So you can change the speed of zoom and pan with these buttons. As you can see, the fast forward is getting 3, 2, 1 to control the speed of which you pan, tilt, and zoom. So we can go back to us now.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to start talking about, hopefully I'm doing okay right now with this. I see some of our guys are in the chat, so that's really helpful. So let's bring up the browser and show everybody the options and how we set up cameras with the IP controller. Okay, so all we've done is typed in the IP address of this joystick controller into an internet browser, and it pulls up this browser page. You don't have to add the username or password. You can just log in. Try clicking up top there and seeing what's happening. All right. All right, go back to us really quick. So they're seeing. Let me just do something really quick. I'm going to bring up a desktop capture because that input is not working well. So in vMix, I'm just going to add a browser input here.
There you go.
There we go.
All right.
So I'm just going to use this mouse to direct things a little bit.
Yeah, so what's going on?
Yeah, in the green is where you're going to see all the available cameras on your network. There's one that's showing available. On the right side are ones that have already been input into the IP controller. And that's what you're seeing on the right side. It's very nice and easy that you can just click boop and then add or remove. If you wanted to manually add a camera via IP to this controller, you press this handle button, and then you would type in, and I'm not going to go through it all here for time's sake, but you can type in 192.168.111. For example, if we had a camera that was 63 after 61, you know, we would put 63 here. And then the ONVIF port is 81, it looks like, and then the username and password is admin. So that is going to allow you to then, let's go back to the ceiling cam on the IP joystick.
There you go.
That's going to allow you to then inquire, and that lets you switch between all the cameras that it is now recognizing via the network on the joystick. You could pick, if they're 1 through 4, I believe they're going to be on the hotkeys and thereby controlled by the hotkeys. But you can add more than that. Like, see, I have 6, it looks like, as of right now. Whew, okay. So that's basically it from my understanding with the IP joystick. 2 great options. One is for if you're interested in doing things over the network. One is if you are interested in wired control and daisy chaining your cameras. Now let's talk about the fun one.
The Xbox.
The Xbox controller.
Yeah.
This is something that a lot of our customers have played around with. I'm sorry I'm not in the chat that much yet, because I'm doing this and it's getting to be like, I'm like, oh my God. Okay. So let's do a live entry, function entry into vMix and show them how we enter a shortcut. Okay. This works, I think, with Rocosoft, and it works with vMix. So I'm going to show you how to use this in vMix because that's the one that I know how to do. This is going to use the shortcut functions in vMix, and we're going to set whatever, you know, direction the joystick is going to be adjusted to. That's going to act as a joystick and control one of our cameras. So let's share our vMix now that we have that desktop capture. So it looks really silly, but let's bring them down to the shortcuts. Okay. We already have some entered because I cheated a little bit. Click enter, or edit, excuse me. So you can see right now in the preview of vMix, I'm controlling the camera. I have up, down, right, and left situated right now. What we can show you is how to do zoom next. So here we are. Here, move this over here because they're seeing what's right here.
Okay.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Move it over there.
Uncover this up.
Though, you know, we can't see it well, they can see it. So that's what really matters. Good. Good. Look at you go. Problem solving for me. All right, click add. We're going to add a new shortcut. All right, so now we need to hold the joystick to whatever function. Oh, this is hard to explain. We're going to press whatever button we want to make the camera zoom. We'll do zoom for now. So I'm going to hold down Y. Now press find. All right, I'm holding Y, press OK. All right, now hit function and we want it to zoom, so go to PTZ. Then we want it to PTZ zoom in. Okay, now we need to apply it to the input, and this input happens to be main cam 2. Okay, now click OK. All right, so now if I press Y, it's going to zoom in as much as possible, only because we haven't set a stop function, which is silly, but you do have to set a stop function for whatever you want, whatever control you want to do. So click add, and then I'm going to, okay, so press find, and then OK. I think that should,
And then we want the function.
Hold on. That didn't seem right.
You
All
gotta-
right, click find again. Okay, now click OK.
Joystick button up.
No, it should say, all right, click function, and then go PTZ, and then zoom stop. And let's see if this, now preview, put it on main cam too. Okay, and let's see if this works. No. All right, go back to this. I see the problem.
We're already here.
I have to keep using the joysticks. I tried using a button, but the point of using the joysticks on the Xbox controller is by releasing the pressure, it going back to center the joystick is going to allow it to stop, which is kind of confusing. Press add. Okay, so go to find. All right, press OK. Function, zoom in. PTZ, zoom in. Preview, main cam 2. Okay. Now go right back to it. Add another one. Sorry. Okay, now click find. And now click OK. Okay, now click PTZ, zoom stop. Okay. All right, so now now switch to my input. So get out of this. Yep. Back to me. Really unflattering. So now I'm using the remote just to show this to you. Okay, so if I've done this correctly, and we're doing some live testing here, I'm a learner myself, I'm going to press up on the joystick and it's going to zoom in, and as soon as I release the joystick, it's going to stop zooming in. And this is going to happen. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Here's the test. Drum roll, please. Zoom. Release. Woohoo!
Woo!
High five. Yeah. All right, and now I'm not going to set the zoom out because that took a really long time.
Yeah.
And took some finagling. The thing that's cool about this that a lot of our customers like and they ask for quite often is that you can zoom and pan at the same time. Now I've only have one zoom option set on this controller, so I'm going to show you a pan and a zoom in at the same time. Okay? Silly as that looks. Perfect, thank you. While I fix this. So that's something that unfortunately I know you're gonna love about this little Xbox controller. You can pan and tilt and zoom at the same time. So that's a little trick of the trade for you.
I think it just
that was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. I think if the Xbox makes sense for, I guess, a lot of people. I mean, for me, because like I have so much experience playing on the Xbox over amount of years. I've seen people hook fly drones with the Xbox and like tons of different stuff.
It seems like there's a lot that can be done with the Xbox controller,
absolutely.
and I'm assuming it's just because it's some sort of device. In reality, they've claimed it Xbox controller. By the way, the Xbox controller is connected to our computer via USB right now, and vMix is just recognizing it. I don't know, vMix is super smart. So that's basically our joystick battle. So what we need from you guys is to type in the chat, because now I'll be paying attention to the chat, and tell us which one is your favorite, which one did you think is the coolest, which one is best for your particular use, and let us know.
If you use an Xbox controller, let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
I wanna
you
know.
use an Xbox controller with PTZOptics cameras, let us know. All right, so let's see what's going on. Let's roll the credits, and then we will answer some questions to the
Cool.
best of our ability, all right?
Sounds good.
Thank you guys so much for watching, for bearing with us today on
Yes.
Back to Basics. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't even know that we knew that much about the controllers until right now.
Right?
We could have had an individual show about each of them, I think. Let's see which everybody's favorite controller was. I feel like I missed out on a lot of great comments in here. Let's see. Brian says, FYI, there's a way to use auto hotkey in conjunction with vMix to use an Xbox controller to control the cameras without having to use vMix active. NWBC Live says, our teen volunteers like the Xbox controller, and it's also wireless.
It is wireless. Yes, that's right.
This one's not wireless because we just bought, I think, like an inexpensive one.
Yeah.
But the wireless ones can be cool too.
We have Drake Finney.
Drake uses the HuddleCam joystick, but man, due to size and PTZ at the same time, I really am going to look into the Xbox controller.
Yeah, look into us and let us know how you like it.
Kevin says Xbox controller with Rokosoft since I use Wirecast and they don't yet have the PTZ controls built in like vMix. Yes, if you're using Wirecast with Rokosoft, I'm not exactly sure how it works. Paul does, but you can use the Xbox controller with that. Tony says, makes sense. Teens would like to use the Xbox controller. Yeah. Yes, they're familiar with it. Okay, Jason is saying vMix has a built-in shortcut template for the Xbox controller.
That's cool.
Are you kidding me? That could have been helpful,
yeah,
don't you think?
Right?
I should have looked into that. Jason says, thank you. Is the camera switching delay any better on the Gen 2 IP controller? I've not yet compared it side to side with the Gen 1. But since you mentioned it, that's a great thing to look into. Maybe we'll do a video on that. It has, okay, unfortunately I work with those who still cannot set their microwave time. Tony! Well, I'm not going to lie, I struggle with microwaves on the reg, so. Okay, NWBC Live, it has a smaller learning curve. True. For beginners, it's a great option. Does anybody not like the idea of IP control? I'm wondering if anybody would... What I want to know is, would you prefer the IP joystick or the HC joystick with RS-232? Which one do you think is better? Now that we have the Gen 2, I don't know. Kynard Video says, I really enjoy the fine-tuned touch of the HuddleCam joystick. Yeah, I do too, and I like how if I just slightly adjust the joystick that it'll slowly pan, or I could speed things up if I needed to, if I was following something that was moving fast. Leo likes the IP joystick. Yeah, I mean, everybody's all about cutting the cords.
Yeah.
I can't blame you there. Save space, tripping hazards. Andreas, no worries about being late. We're happy that you're here today. Yeah, it is. Great. Alrighty, are there any other questions for us today? Drake says, I guess I'm going to have to get all versions of joysticks and try each one. Hey, I mean, I can't send them all to you, but if you want to buy them, please be my guest. No limit by design. At this point, the IP is better because of the camera select buttons. Yes, the hotkeys was a big request for the Gen 2 IP joystick, so we're happy to be delivering that to you guys, and they're shipping now, and we have one in-house for you guys, so it's really exciting for us.
And this is the the PTZOptics controller. This is what I'm starting to use as when I'm behind the scenes producing some of the different shots. So I really like it, and I've only used it like 1 or 2 times, so it's pretty easy for me to pick up.
Okay, John, does vMix work with the wireless Xbox 360 receiver from Microsoft?
Ooh.
I don't know. I've only used the wired Xbox controller for testing
wireless
and whatnot.
So, John, you're asking about the wireless Xbox 360 controller. That sounds like the 360 is like an older model, so maybe it may not have the like the tech.
Yeah.
For like from the 360, Xbox 360.
I'm not sure.
The Xbox One, yeah, definitely. I would say.
Then, okay, so Brian says there's a trick you can use to control multiple cameras in vMix as well. It involves assigning your vMix controller shortcuts to a specific input number.
Oh, okay.
vMix controller shortcuts to a specific... I didn't know that. All right, guys. That might be it for us today. That was a boatload. I mean... That was
pretty crazy.
I'm used to Paul being able to be the one that's,
right.
like, saying all the tech stuff. So it's hard. I'm having a newfound appreciation for him.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Thanks. So did you, bud.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Feel free to send
Yes.
me any messages with any further questions. You're going to get to be seeing Mike a lot more, too.
Yeah, I'll be on for Friday.
Yep, we'll be streaming together on Friday for the World Studio Tour. And we're bringing on Giles from World of Live Streaming. Plus a new product that we're going to show you guys.
Oh, we're not going to say?
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Okay.
We're not gonna say.
You have to wait.
All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you Friday.
If you haven't liked our Facebook page, go on and give us a like, give us a comment, and let us know how we're doing.
Yeah.